So for 35 years, this has been a project in the works, and I will forever be grateful for our Board of Education's commitment, their vision, and their desire to make a difference, not just in the city of Fresno, but very importantly, in West Fresno, that had long been neglected.
My name is Principal QT, and I want to welcome you to your new school. Gaston Middle School was built so the students from this city will have the opportunity for success. My staff and I are dedicated to helping each of you become successful students as you transition to middle school. Transition means to change from one condition to another, and you are about to embark on the most important transition of your life so far. You are about to meet a few of the very first students to attend this school who are now graduating from Edison High School. Not long ago, they were sitting in the same room you are right now. They would like to share some of their experiences with you. Listen to their stories, and we hope you are motivated. You are now a Gaston Bengal. What advice would you give your middle school self?
Don't take middle school for granted. It seems easy now, but it only gets more challenging from here on out. So middle school definitely has the tools necessary to help you be prepared for high school, but it's not going to be as easy as it is in middle school.
I would tell myself, don't try to fit in, just go your own way. Don't try to fit in with the latest fashion, phones, electronics, just work with what you got and keep pushing.
The advice I would give to my middle school self is to not dwell on friendships that you lose, or just try to live in the moment and take the experience in, and just let go of the stress or anything that's not contributing to your happiness or your success.
Concentrate on yourself and motivate yourself to do better things, like do your work.
So what I would tell my middle school self is just don't be scared. Like, go out there, talk to people, get to know some new people.
Get involved. I did play volleyball, but I didn't go to like basketball games, football games, track meets, stuff like that. So I would say get involved. That's the most important thing.
I would tell my middle school self to kill them with success. Don't always have something to say back to someone starting drama, because in high school, they're not going to put up with that at all. So just kill them with success, kill them with a smile, and ignore it.
Why is it important to stay on track in school, even when your friends are not staying on track?
It's very important, because if you have a goal in mind and your friends aren't supporting that goal, you need to rearrange and reconsider your friends and who you're hanging around with, and take precaution and get different friends, especially since you're young. So it's better, you have a lot more time with those new set of friends that are motivational to anything that you do, any decision that you do, not trying to take you back from that. So if you have a goal in mind, stay in tune with what you want to do, and surround yourself by people who would push you towards that goal and fulfilling it, instead of someone who's not trying to motivate you.
It's important to stay on track when you're, even when your friends aren't, because they're not going to be there your whole life. Some may, some may not. But eventually, it's going to be all up to you to decide what's going to be best for you, and that's what high school is about. It'll really show you that if you don't handle things for yourself, that you might fall to the wayside.
Okay, so it's important to stay on track in school because, of course, you have to get credits to graduate. Nobody's going to do your work for you, and it's just always better to be disciplined. So when you go off to like a job or higher school, like college.
Well, if you're not on track, you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing. You're just following what your friends are doing. So it's not gonna get you very far.
Because it's all on you, and like your actions don't depend on what your friends do. So like, you just gotta stay on your toes and go your own lane, because your friends might not be there in the future with you.
It's important because you want to set an example. You want to be an example to everyone else. So even if you're hanging with the crowd that's not on track, then you be the reason why, you just set an example, but like, I'm trying to be like him. He has his stuff together, or she has her stuff together, and they know what they're going to do in the future.
It's very important to stay on track, even though if it's your best friend that is off track, because at the end of the day, they're not going to be there to get you into college or to get you to your job that you want. So you have to do it yourself at the end of the day.
It's important for you to stay on track and not worry about your friend. Well, not saying not worry about your friends, but worry about yourself, because your grade, you graduating is dependent on your grades. So with that being said, your friends' grades have nothing to do with yours. Just because they're not doing your work, don't slack off and not do yours.
How do you balance schoolwork and fun?
You should know how to draw the line with knowing how to sit down and study and doing your work, and being able to tell your friends or your family, like, okay, I need to sit down and focus and have a good time later.
I'd say middle school is where you should start to realize that school isn't all about fun. While it can be, you join clubs, you do certain things, but you dedicate it to those times. So if you join a sport, you'll dedicate the fun to when you go to play that sport. But when you're at school, you're here for work, and you get breaks and lunch, so that's when you can interact with your friends and stuff. But in the classroom, I think it's best that you handle your business.
Basically, just make a schedule for yourself to know what you're going to do when you wake up, go home, and go to school.
You should always put time towards your books and towards your homework, and then separate that from your fun time, and know that there's still time to have fun because you're still young.
I'd say when you're at school, just focus on school. Don't focus on anything else. Just get your work done, ask questions, ask for help, and then when you leave school, just focus on yourself, having fun, being with your friends, spending time with family. You just have to learn how to draw that line between the both.
Okay, so there's a line in everything, and I learned that. Yeah, there's times to play around, but there's times not to play around everything that you're gonna do. So all school is just getting you ready for work and your workforce. So if you're playing around at a job where you actually need money, you're not gonna stay with that job. Potentially, you never know what could happen after that. So you need to learn how to draw that line when it's time to get serious and when it's time just to be a kid, I guess.
What is the biggest mistake middle schoolers make?
Trying to be cool. It's everybody wants to fit in and look how everybody else looks, all based off what one person has. One person has the coolest shoes, one person has the coolest phone, and it's not about that. It's just about being you and being true to yourself.
The biggest mistake middle schoolers make is probably not taking classes as serious and thinking they don't matter in high school, but in reality they do.
Biggest mistake that they make is just taking it for granted. It's, some people might think, I could just get my grades up the last minute in the quarter, but in high school it's not like that. You won't, when you're a senior, you won't be able to make it up the last week before graduation. You'll just, unfortunately, you'll be one of the ones that won't be able to graduate with their class, and nobody wants that. So,
basically trying to fit in, because most middle schoolers, they want to be cool. They want to be stick with the crowd. But I say it's best to go your own way, because it's best to go your own way because, like I said, it's just they're not gonna be there with you whenever you go the right path.
Trying to be the cool kid. They want to be the cool kid and they want to just go out and mess around, and then next thing you know, they got bad grades and now they're messing up in high school.
I think the biggest mistake middle schoolers do is probably procrastinate. That's when the procrastination starts, because elementary it's kind of easy. The way it's set up is one teacher, all 6 subjects. But when you move to 7th grade, now you're going from class to class and having break. There's no more recess. A lot of stuff are changing. A lot of stuff's going on. Puberty, everything. So a lot of people push stuff back. And middle school it's like a big trap. That's how I looked at it. It was kind of weird. It's a weird stage. So that's how I feel. So a lot of kids, I had friends that got caught up in the track and never made it to high school, that got killed. I had friends that made it to high school and kept doing the same thing in high school and couldn't catch up and they dropped out. I've had a lot of friends that have done that. I wouldn't say friends, but peers. A lot of peers that got caught up in that trap and did a lot of things. And it's not just a trap to where you can't graduate. There's some people that I know is graduating that's still in that trap. It's just something. It's a character issue. It's a life issue that they're in. A lot of them, most of them, result in just not graduating. But there's some that's still graduating that's still in that trap. If that makes sense.
The biggest mistake middle schoolers make is taking freshman year as a joke. They think that it's all fun and games and they slack off, and they don't realize that those credits, they count and they add up, and that counts towards you graduating. They don't understand that.
How important is it to be involved in sports and clubs?
It's important. You get to learn about different things, do different things, just based on what you like and what your taste and what you like to do in your free time.
I think it's very important because it gets you the opportunity of knowing more people, and in the future you might need those people, and it gets you really known in high school.
Very, very important. When I went here, I played 2 sports, and it also makes connections with a lot of people. So I believe it's very important. I made a lot of friends through that, met some coaches, and you see, I play in high school. So I just think it's a great thing for people to do.
I say that's very important because most colleges they look into your they look into like how many clubs you've been involved in and like what sports you go with, because if you're into the club and sports, you're able to get scholarships. And like me, I was like a 4-sport athlete in middle school, so it's very important to me.
Well, it brings more opportunity to you, like going to like field trips and getting to know more like real stuff in the real world. It's extremely important to be social at school, I feel, because you'll meet people that you'll be friends with for the rest of your lives, and it's just great to network, I feel like.
Super important. I'm BSU president, class 2019. I'm involved in the California for Justice Club, and I was in the Asian Club, but I was doing too much, so I'm not an Asian Club anymore. But that's super important. It keeps you busy, especially sports. I'm a football player, Blue and Gray All-American this year at Edison, so that's super important. Just being involved, keeping yourself busy, because especially in work, they want people who's well-rounded. They want people who knows how to work on teams, because when you start off, you're gonna have to be able to know how to collab with someone. So clubs and sports, especially if you respect your coach, that will help you in the workforce, for sure.
It's very important to get involved in clubs and stuff on campus, because it looks great on your college applications and it makes you stand out compared to others that didn't get involved.
If you could go back and change anything, what would it be?
I would probably hang out with the right crowd.
Yeah, I just change the people who I hung around, just change the choices that I've made, and just be more respectful to just yourself.
I would go back and focus on achieving the best grades possible, because I know it's a lot easier now. Looking back, it's easier than what I thought it was. And if I would have applied myself, I could have probably been an honor student or something. And achieving those good grades really opens doors. So like I said, if I went back, I would strive to do the very best I could in the classroom.
For me to stay on my studies, because right now I'm going to city, but if I would have stayed on my grades and did way better, I could have been somewhere like in a D1 school if I was able to.
There's nothing I would change other than I'd probably play some sports. That's about it.
I would change how I procrastinated about doing a lot of my projects. Even though I got them done, I could have put more time into them instead of getting them done last minute.
What are you doing next year?
Next year I'm going to Fresno State to study criminology in hopes of becoming an FBI agent.
I'm going to attend City for 2 years and transfer to state and hopefully do sports
Next year I'm going to be attending Antelope Valley College to play baseball.
I'm going to Fresno City and I'm going to play football over there.
I'm going to Fresno City and focusing on becoming a police officer.
Next year I'm going to City College.
Next year I'm going to Fresno State, majoring in pre-nursing, but I'm thinking about changing my major to biology. And yeah, I want to be a registered nurse and then go on to be a nurse practitioner.
Going to Fresno State.
You playing
football? Yes, I'm playing football at Fresno State this year. Number 5, got a game coming up against USC, August 30th, 31st. Be there.
So next year I'll be attending Fresno State, and my major is going to be nursing.